and gentlemen, you will allow me, I just wanted to re-emphasize that today being International Coffee Day, and whose focus is supporting the next generation, it resonates very well with what we are trying to do as a country when we are talking about the roadmap. And we know that amid the COVID-19 pandemic, which is a global health crisis with extreme economic consequences, we know this has negatively affected both supply and demand in parallel for the first time. Mainly you have demand and supply, one goes up, the other goes down, or vice versa, but for the first time, both have been negatively affected. And we also know that even before the COVID-19, the farmers were still struggling due to the low coffee prices and global and environmental challenges and threats. So these are things that we need to look at as we address the issues of coffee. The threats that we are having include the livelihoods of the coffee farmers who risk to the future of the coffee of tomorrow. We also have our young people in coffee farming households who are moving away to other locations and jobs that they think or they see are more progressive and lucrative. Again, we also have the jobs held by the youth. People across the coffee value chain have also recently been lost. So the International Coffee Day is an occasion that is used to promote and celebrate coffee as our most beloved beverage. I know this can be contested in Kenya as we drink possibly more coffee, but this is one thing that we need to promote. And the other one, of course, is to promote sustainable coffee practices and raise an awareness for the plight of our coffee farmers. Why do we have to invest in the youth? We need to generate both innovative and sustainable solutions for coffee sector. We need to build a better, more equitable and prosperous coffee sector. We need also to enable ourselves recover from the COVID-19, as we hope it's not something that is permanent. Then we also, of course, need to build a stronger future, positively impacting coffee communities around the country and in the world. So in terms of mitigation, the lack of engagement of youth in coffee farming and other areas of the value chain sees us with no future for the coffee, and is important for us to emphasize on that. So the main aim for the theme this year was to enable these young women and men to build a prosperous and sustainable future. Initiative intends to promote them with access to finance and knowledge, development, coaching, training, as well as networking. So for coffee next generation, what we intend or what we should be looking at as a country is to engage members and all coffee stakeholders to work together with the youth organizations, industry leaders and associations, international organizations, development and financial partners, as well as coffee consumers. So I'm hoping that all of us, when we have this in mind, we have a whole host of things that we need to do as a country. We were talking of the eco-pulpers, we are talking of better drying beds, but I think even when we have a whole host of things to do, we have to prioritize. We can have fantastic drying beds, we can have fantastic eco-pulpers, but we must also produce coffee. And producing that coffee, we need to expand like we are doing west of the Rift. We need to produce more with less by intensifying, and that we have seen happening in some areas in Central, especially in Kirinyaga and some parts of Embu. And I would like also to mention, as we think of the youth, we have examples in places like Gakundu, where we have other NGOs who are working with the coffee youth, and they have been taught how to craft. And I know in Embu, we were involved working with the county to train the youth so that they can help in crafting in all their factories within Embu. this is the approach that we need to do so that we can also engage our youth. So those are just some of the points that I thought it would be important to mention on this day that is of International Coffee Day. And I hope next year, because we always have it 1st of October, we can organize something more elaborate, whether we can involve the stakeholders in looking at where we are and what we need to do as a country. Thank you very much.